बैठ जाओ इधर ही, हम तो यहीं बैठेंगे।
यहीं बैठना पड़ेगा। और लोग आ रहे हैं,
आने दो,
आने दो तो।
हाँ इसी तरह आएंगे तभी शुरू होगा।
यहाँ पर आगे ना अब्दुल कलाम उसमें आ गए हैं। मोनुद्दीन खिलजी में आ गया ना पटन
ख्वाजा महबूब चिश्ती ने तो
कानपुर में नहीं था। तो यहाँ आए थे, कुछ दिनों के लिए आए थे।
यहाँ पे तभी थे, यहाँ जब थे तभी थे वो।
उसके वहाँ से सीधे कानपुर ट्रांसफर। तो कानपुर बंद नहीं है, कानपुर में
हमको बता दें
ना
ये गलत मुँह से कुछ निकल जा रहा है। यहाँ से हमारा बिल्कुल परफेक्ट है। ये बोल रहे हैं स्पीकर उधर से बोलेगा तो कहना उधर कहीं इसमें क्या कर मोबाइल होता कहाँ और नाटे उठाते होंगे माल। अब लोकल माल उठाते होंगे, ओरिजिनल तो मिलता है ना, ओरिजिनल के लिए कंपनी से कॉन्टेक्ट करना पड़ेगा।
ओरिजिनल मिलता है, इसकी डिमांड होती है कि हम 400 के लिए अलग और रखते हैं। तो जिसकी जरूरत होती है, एक पीस दो पीस चाहिए दिए।
हाँ रो
कस्टमर के हिसाब से दुकानदार बताता है।
किसकी कमरे की अभी पता नहीं, वो किए नहीं लगता इसमें हो ऑडियो नहीं। चलो भी देखते हैं, पूछते हैं। वहाँ साउंड चेक कर रहे हैं ना,
समझ आया, तब वो चेक कर रहा हूँ।
क्या बंद है? लाइट चल रही है, बता रहा ऑडियो नहीं आ रही। देखो ऑडियो म्यूट की गया। देखिए ये बच्ची है। अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है। अभी बस शुरू होने वाला है, तो देख के बताना। यहाँ तो डिस्प्ले बता रहा है जितना ऑडियो नहीं आ रही। अच्छा तो यहाँ से हम लोग तो बंद कर रखा है। आ रही ना? हाँ कोई दिक्कत हो तो बता दो। शुरू होने जा रहा बस। फोन साइलेंट कर लेना, बिल्कुल फुल पे क्यों भाई? तो कम से कम इतना रखा हो, बहुत जो जरूरत तो यहाँ पे जाए, कम से कम इतना रखा हो, इतना ये रखा हो। और 125 से लगाया बैठे तो इसको डाउन करो ना फ्लैश को। ये रोज पिक्चर जल रही है। ये देखो ये सब जाम हो जाएगा अगर इसकी सफाई नहीं करेगा। देखो डस्ट है, ये सब जाम कर देगा कैमरे को। तुमको बता दो तरीका। देखो जैसे मान लिया आदमी के चेहरे पहचानी हुई पूरा ये काला है, डाउन कर दिया। और ज़्यादा लोगों को लेना दूर से, और डाउन कर दिया। ठीक है, और दूर से जाना है, मार दिया झाम मचल। या फिर कैमरा उस क्वालिटी को, कैमरा बात करो। कैमरा अगर बहुत फुल HD वाला हो तो ISO से दे लो। ठीक है, बस इतना हमारे हिसाब से अच्छा है। डिस्टेंस है वहाँ तक फ्लैश पहुँची नहीं। सब बढ़िया रखा तो जाम चल रहा है, सफाई करो। बेकार है, कहीं भजन वजन फिरने भंडारा करना है। कहाँ से?
बालाजी
समझ रहे मेरे बात? जो बताया वो लाइट का
समझ गए। ऊपर लाइट हो तो नीचे
या तो हम एक्सपोज करें तब समझ में आए। वहाँ खड़े हो जाकर के तो ठीक है कितना 1600 जाएगा 5.6 से नीचे नहीं आएगा 5.6 से नीचे जाने से पिक्चर ब्लर होने लगेगी बहुत ही दिक्कत हो तब दल ले जा रहा देखेगा वो कहेगा तो
I welcome our respected guest Shri Alok Kumar ji, IAS Secretary Technical Education, UP Government. Welcome, sir.
आइए सर, आइए हमारे पास किनारे है क्या?
कैमरा का
सर
Good morning, everyone. I, Vandana Sharma, Manager Innovation Hub at AKtU, welcomes you all on behalf of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University to Aram, the beginning of new journey. We are glad to have all our respected dignitaries, directors, entrepreneurs, startup founders, innovation coordinators, incubation managers, aspiring and budding entrepreneurs, and all our dear students. We wholeheartedly welcome you all. Aram, the beginning of new journey. So, to begin with this Aram of our event, let us have a Shubharam of it through lamp lighting ceremony. We invite all our respected dignitaries on stage for lamp lighting ceremony. Welcome, sir.
आइए जपन विकास आ जाइए जितनी भीड़ रहेगी उतनी अच्छी चलो ये तो सबने एक ग्रुप हो गई बस इसी के हाथ से तो आप भी भाई
सर आगे आ जाइए सर।
नहीं ठीक है हो गया चलिए ठीक है हो गया थैंक यू
Thank you all the dignitaries. Today, on this respected occasion, we have renowned personalities, entrepreneurs, ecosystem stakeholders among us. Let us have a formal welcome of them through plant sampling. I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Pradeep Kumar Mishra, to welcome our respected guest, Mr. Alok Kumar, Secretary Technical and Vocational Education, Government of UP. Welcome, sir, to Aram. Now, I request respected Registrar, Sir, Mr. Nandlal Singh, to welcome Dr. S.P. Mishra, Founder VC, Dev Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya. Welcome, sir, to Aram. Now I request our Professor in Charge, Innovation Hub, Dr. Sandeep Tiwari, to welcome Professor Prakash Singh, Chairman Doctoral Program, IIM Lucknow. Welcome, sir.
सामने सटिए सामने सटिए सामने हटिए
I request our respected Finance Officer, Shri G.P. Singh, sir, to please welcome Mr. Praful Mishra, Founder OI Media. Welcome, sir. I request Deputy Registrar Sir, Dr. R.K. Singh, to please welcome Mr. Japan Vyas, Founder Root Ventures. Welcome, sir, to our own. I request Director REC Sonbhadra, Dr. G.S. Tomar, to please welcome Mr. Gaurav Kedia, Chairman Biogas Association and co-founder Tech Machinery Labs. Welcome, sir. I request Director REC Banda, Professor S.P. Shukla, to please welcome Mr. Naveen Jha, Fellow at Oxford and former CEO at Deshpande Foundation. Welcome, sir. I request Assistant Professor CAS, Dr. Anush Sharma, to please welcome Dr. Mohit Gambhir, Innovation Director, Ministry of Education, Government of India. Welcome, sir. I request our Head Innovation Hub, Mr. Mahim Singh, to please welcome Mr. Ajay Shukla, Director, AKtU Foundation. Welcome, sir. Now I request our Manager Innovation Hub, Mr. Ritesh Singh, to please welcome our respected guest, Mr. Vaibhav Saxena. So I request Mahim Singh, sir, to please do the honor. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. So let's begin with this, the beginning of new journey. As the name signifies, this is an initiative to strengthen the UP startup and entrepreneurial ecosystem through onboarding and bringing all our stakeholders together. And I'm sure we together can develop and build a strong entrepreneurial ecosystem in UP. To enlighten us more about the same and for welcome address, I invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Pradeep Mishra, to enlighten with his words of wisdom. Welcome, sir, on the dais.
Honorable Secretary Technical Education and Chief Minister Office, Sri Alok Kumarji, all the distinguished guests of today's function, budding entrepreneurs and startup, I welcome all of you to this RM function, which in a way is initiation of making of a new environment at AKtU, wherein innovation and entrepreneurship will be on the forefront. Today's function is a kind of, brainstorming, wherein all those who have already contributed much to Indian entrepreneurial ecosystem, they are here with us, and they will be sharing their own experiences, their own journey, the hardship they have experienced in the journey, and Indian scenario, what are the positive and what are the negative points. And we administrators have to learn a lot what kind of atmosphere we have to provide to those budding young Indians to do something good in the desired direction, as it is said by our Honorable Prime Minister and the Chief Minister and all other leadership. So I will not be taking much of your time. I once again welcome all of you and pray God Almighty to give us vision to assimilate whatever is being given today in this hall by all those who are relevant to the ecosystem of entrepreneurship and startup in India and Uttar Pradesh. Thank you very much for coming and accepting our invitation. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words. Moving ahead, I am very glad to invite our Honorable Secretary CM and Technical Education, Sri Alok Kumarji, on the dais to enlighten us through his words. Welcome, sir.
VC AKtU, Professor P.K. Mishra ji, all distinguished guests. आज लाइक फॉर लास्ट 1 year और सो तो बहुत ज़्यादा हम लोगों ने फोकस किया है टू ब्रिंग अबाउट ए कल्चरल चेंज। किस तरह से हम लोग स्टार्टअप कल्चर को लेकर के आए अपने यूनिवर्सिटी में। और जैसा कि मैंने जब भी ओकेजन्स रहे हैं मैंने यही कहा है कि हम लोग यूनिवर्सिटी एज सच कहीं भी पीछे नहीं रहना चाहिए। जो कमिंग जनरेशन है उसकी नीड को फुलफिल करने के लिए अभी हम लोग देखते हैं कि लोग बच्चों में कितना ज़्यादा एपेटाइट है नई चीज़ें लर्न करने के लिए। हम लोग के जनरेशन में जब 20-30 years पहले बस केवल जॉब ओरिएंटेड हम लोग सारे लोग हुआ करते थे। जो भी स्टूडेंट्स भी होते थे जॉब कैसे लगना है। सी द चेंज, कितना ज़्यादा चेंज आ चुका है। आज जॉब के साथ साथ बहुत सारी अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हैं जिसको कि बच्चे देखते हैं अपने 4 years के लर्निंग में। एंड एज ए गार्जियन, एज ए गाइड, आप सबकी हम लोग सबकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि उनको वो इन्वायरमेंट हम लोग वो प्रोवाइड करें, हैंड होल्डिंग करें। और इसी चीज़ के लिए जो भी यूनिवर्सिटी के साइड से, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के साइड से जो भी कंट्रीब्यूशन हो सकता है, जो भी सपोर्ट हो सकता है वो हम लोग को देना है। इंक्यूबेटर्स टारगेट है कि सारे के सारे ऑल इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज शुड हैव एन इंक्यूबेटर। सबसे पहले गवर्नमेंट लीडरशिप लेगी और सारे हमारे जो भी गवर्नमेंट इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस हैं, RECs हैं, वहाँ पर आई होप कि बाई 31 मार्च और मैक्सिमम 15 अप्रैल, हाँ मतलब पहले तो हमारा टारगेट 31 दिसंबर का था। एवरी लाइक दिस शुड हैव इंक्यूबेटर। लेकिन फोकस हमारा हमेशा आउटकम ओरिएंटेड होना चाहिए। मैं जब भी इस तरह के फंक्शंस में जाता हूँ, मैं VC साहब ने आज बहुत अच्छा एक शुरुआत की है, आरंभ न्यू जर्नी। लेकिन कंप्लीटली मतलब इतनी अच्छी गैदरिंग है, काफ़ी इंडस्ट्री से, एकेडमिया से आपने इतने सारे अच्छे लोगों को बुलाया है। अब बहुत ज़रूरत है कि हम लोग किस तरह से उसको कन्वर्ट करते हैं आउटकम में। आउटकम अगर नहीं आएगा तो फिर कोई फायदा नहीं। इसलिए मैं जरूर चाहूँगा कि आज की जो भी ये चीज़ें हैं, आई डोंट नो मतलब अभी तो मुझे स्क्रीन पे तो जस्ट 8 कितने 10 लोग दिख रहे थे। सो लाइक ऑनलाइन तो नॉट मेनी पीपल हैव ज्वाइन, मगर जो भी ये चीज़ हम लोग उसकी रिकॉर्डिंग्स जरूर हों, जिससे कि इतने सारे जिन लोगों ने इन फील्ड्स में स्क्रैच से शुरुआत किया है और एक लेवल तक पहुंचे हैं, उन लोगों को सारे स्टूडेंट्स भी सुन सकें, मोटिवेट हो सकें। लेकिन हम लोग देखें कि किस तरीके से हम उसको, क्या कोई ग्रुप बनाए, स्मॉलर ग्रुप बना करके हम किस तरह से मेंटरशिप आप लोगों की, मैं अभी आप लोगों को सुनूंगा जितने लोगों को सुन पाया, लेकिन आप लोगों की किस तरह से मेंटरशिप प्रोवाइड हो सके, किस तरह से आप कुछ स्टूडेंट्स खुद सेलेक्ट करें जिनमें आप पाते हैं कि हाँ कुछ करने की उनके अंदर विजन है, कुछ डेडिकेशन है, कुछ कर सकते हैं, कमिटमेंट है, आप चाहे खुद आइडेंटिफाई करें। लेकिन कुछ लोगों को जरूर मेंटरशिप हम करें। एक बार आप जब AKtU में आए हैं तो ये चीज़ें इट शुड नॉट गो वेस्ट। हम तो बिल्कुल हम लोग चाहेंगे कि आप कुछ ना कुछ, कितने बच्चों को हम लोग आगे निकाल करके ला पा रहे हैं उसको जरूर देखा जाए। तो उसका VC साहब हम लोग ये चीज़ जरूर हो, स्टार्टअप रजिस्ट्रेशन कितनों का हुआ, मतलब आउटकम उसको जिससे कि जरूर हम लोग ये कर सके, कितने स्टार्टअप रजिस्टर हुए हैं, कितने प्रोडक्शन में आए हैं ड्यूरिंग लास्ट 1 year, ये चीज़ें एक बेस लाइन ये करके, और फिर जो भी सारी एक्टिविटीज चल रही हैं उसको हम लोग बहुत सारी इस तरह की एक्टिविटीज अभी आप AKtU लेवल पे ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे हैं, लखनऊ लेवल पे अलग अलग, नोएडा में, वेस्टर्न, ईस्टर्न, आजमगढ़, डायरेक्टर साहब दिख नहीं रहे हैं मुझे, लेकिन ठीक है, लेकिन मतलब हर जगह पे किस तरह से हम लोग ऑर्गेनाइज कर सकते हैं और लोगों को, बच्चों की हैंड होल्डिंग कर सकें। वी शुड बी आउटकम ओरिएंटेड और हमें चेंज लाना होगा, चेंज हमें जल्द से जल्द लाना होगा जिससे कि और हम बच्चों को अट्रैक्ट कर सकें। तो मैं बस इसी विश के साथ और इसके साथ कि इन लोगों ने जो एक कमिटमेंट हम लोगों ने लिया है यूनिवर्सिटी के साथ मिल करके कि हम एक स्टार्टअप कल्चर हम लोग डेवलप करेंगे, उसको हम लोग पूरी तरह से इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकें, एग्जीक्यूट कर सकें आप लोगों की मदद से। थैंक यू सो मच। और आप लोगों को मैं भी सुनना चाहूँगा कुछ लोग। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, sir, for your words. I'm proud to share that we are in the era where government is focused about innovation, entrepreneurship, ecosystem development. When I started 10 years back, there we have to struggle a lot to make people understand what innovation is, what entrepreneurship is, how to inspire students. No support was there. But now our government is supporting us, so I believe we should take a maximum advantage of that. When everyone is there to handhold, we just have to grow. And this is the right time to start that. So thank you so much, sir. Moving ahead, I would like to welcome our respected guest, Dr. S.P. Mishra, founder VC of Dev Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya, for his keynote address on the dais. He is having a great experience in the field of entrepreneurship and ecosystem. He has done his PhD in agri-entrepreneurship. So we can understand how close this subject is to him. Sir, it would be great if we can hear it from here. Can you please provide the caller mic? So sir meanwhile it is getting arranged. Let's have a conversation on his achievements. So sir is involved into mentorship and empowerment, into entrepreneurship development since 20 years, and he has been BC to University Sanskriti University Mathura, which was established in 2016. So sir, it's great pleasure to have you here and to hear from you. Thank you so much, sir. Over to you.
Honorable Secretary to PM and Technical Education, Shri Alok Kumarji. Needless to say that getting a secretary of his kind, is rare. Rare in the sense that one who is able to announce in public that all kinds of support are for you for a particular cause. And therefore I see all reason to believe that with such a kind of support, anything and everything can happen. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, who himself was involved in innovation, entrepreneurship and incubation system, and I have been listening about him quite a lot, in DST particularly. He kept on ringing, talking, trying to get many kinds of directions and working at a grassroots level. So this combination, again, is a rare combination, and the team is also wonderful. All the promoters, the startups, and officials of the university and the incubation managers. I must congratulate and I must inform Alok Kumarji that UP is going ahead in a different direction altogether. And I must say that as compared to other states, if you look at the scenario of technical education, then in one area, they are not lagging behind. That area is innovation, entrepreneurship and incubation. Sir, this is also one of the landmarks for UP, and precisely because the focus that has been given by this university. This university is a prime one and has a lot of respect and regard, in many parts of the country. I would like simply to say that in terms of entrepreneurship, we have reached to a maturity level where we can share our experiences. There are three things, four things. Let me just help many people sitting over here. The first thing, it has started way back in 60s, and there is a good book. If people have not gone through, they must go through. It is a book written by David McClellan, and he undertook a research of developed world, developing and underdeveloped world, and he collected the data, analyzed the data. Based on that, he got his PhD and wrote a book, Achieving Society. The gist of the book is quite interesting. What Alok Kumarji was just trying to make a mention of it, culture. The gist of the summary of the book says, rise and fall of a nation depends on many things, but primarily on entrepreneurial culture that exists in the society. So, he did talk about entrepreneurial culture, and he said that if at all any institution, organization, state, country, anywhere, any organization, if they have entrepreneurial culture, believe it is bound to rise. It is bound to develop. And the second important, the finding that has come, that there is a definite linkage and relationship between economic development and entrepreneurship. Economic development, entrepreneurship is there, economic development is bound to take place. Whether you like or you don't like, whether you do something or you don't do something, but if entrepreneurship keeps on rising, then economic development will be strengthened. There is absolutely no doubt about it. And the third thing is, it is useful for not only professional development, but personal growth and development as well. This says about that, anybody talking about entrepreneurship, thinking about entrepreneurship, getting into the entrepreneurship is bound to develop. And believe me, way back in 1975, taking admission at Indian Agriculture Research Institute, Pusa Institute near Delhi, I took the topic entrepreneurship, agriculture entrepreneurship. And that is the first thesis on agriculture entrepreneurship in the country. It was submitted in 1977. I got my degree in 78. And believe me, because of the fact that I kept on reading books, I never looked back. Unfortunate part is that I did all my education in agriculture, but I couldn't serve a single day in agriculture. I completed All India Agriculture Research Service. I was posted in Dairy Research Institute. From dairy, I went to industry. From industry, I went to develop the institution after institution. So, as an institutional builder, I came across. Meaning thereby, what I wish to say, that, it is not important, when you are embedded with this concept, what happens? It's a live example. Dev Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya talks about Indian culture. So imagine an agriculture student becoming VC, founder VC of Dev Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya. But then this is simply because of becoming entrepreneurial in nature. And today, after serving so many years, and coming to now as a voluntary service to all the institutions, whosoever comes into contact, I go and I keep on guiding the students. And my way of, it's a voluntary service. I became advisor and I become mentor, and I keep on associating myself with a young blood to be young enough, in terms of thinking and in terms of action. So friends, here, the entrepreneurial journey, what I would say, that any one of us taking entrepreneurial journey, meaning thereby becoming different. Why our Honorable Prime Minister is focusing? Because of two reasons. One is that this is not simply helping a person to be self-employed and to be an entrepreneur, but becoming socially conscious. You remember, socially conscious means you are conscious about the social problem, you bring those problems into your lab, try to find out a solution. That's the innovation. And therefore, what happens? Globally, you are aware about all kinds of problems and you are trying to solve those problems. Only yesterday, I was trying to select a few candidates for Prayas. The manager is sitting over here at Kite Institute. And sir, I am happy to inform you, I could see the student coming out with import substitute items, very good ideas. I could see students coming with, export-oriented items. I could see students coming with consumable items which are not available in the country and they are trying to provide it. These ideas were coming right from morning 9 o'clock. We were sitting across up to 3 o'clock and we were trying to screen the idea, and I was finding it difficult to say this idea is rejected, this idea is accepted. I was so happy to see to it. Even IIT Kanpur student from IIT Kanpur, they participated into it and they got selected. I cannot tell you the name at this moment, but then they got selected. Now people coming from IIT, people coming from different institutions in these kinds of programs, this suggests very clearly that the students are willing to. Now I am working as an advisor to ITS group of institutions, KITE group of institutions, GL Bajaj group of institutions, and all these institutions. I can show you, sir, that how the students are coming, participating, and trying to experiment with new ideas and coming out with. But since you are sitting over here, I would like to take liberty. And liberty of, making a mindset. What happens? Selection of innovative idea is not a problem. We have started getting feedback from the industries. Industries are coming forward and telling that we are facing this problem. Can you sort it out, solve this problem? And we have started working on that. That is not a problem, sir. Now we are able to develop product. Till that particular point, there is no problem. Then the problem starts. I have developed a particular product. I want to go for commercialization. And for commercialization, I need to go for commercial testing. And after commercial testing, I need to go for necessary steps to get into the commercial business. Now that's the real problem. Real problem is there is no assistance. And many students I have seen personally that the students after developing the product and spending 2 to 3 years of time, ultimately they lose their heart and they start joining the job. They say that, sir, I cannot go. Where should I go? Because the seat support system is quite limited. DST provides to a very select few, like in UP. There are 2 only institutions. One is the KITE. They have given seat support system 1 crore rupees. And KITE gives up to 20 lakh seat support system. In Prayas, they give up to 10 lakh for development of any kind of prototype. In EIR, that's another kind of program where they give 30,000 rupees per month for developing a kind of product. Well, good. But then that's the only institute. And the seats are limited, money is limited. So after developing the product, now commercial testing of the product and commercialization of the product, there need to be a definite policy. Now the UP policy says 5 lakh rupees for commercial testing. Sir, 5 lakh rupees doesn't serve the purpose. There are, products where if you want to go for commercial testing, 20 to 30 pieces of those products, supposed to be made. They are supposed to be placed at different locations. And after getting the, feedback, again, they are supposed to work on that and make a finished product, final product, and then go for commercialization. So here, I think as a policy, we need to make something, not the government should directly provide, but I would say integrating it with the financial organization. The moment you get into the bank, again the problem remains the same. You keep on roaming, you keep on moving about, and the collateral security. Now a father is spending 4 years or 5 years for son's education, and again if you are asking father to give another 10 lakh rupees, no father is going to be ready. Very few would be ready. Those who are resourceful, they can provide. Otherwise, everybody will discourage such a student. And they say, forget about it, you are getting a good job, go. This problem is becoming very furious in the sense, irrespective of discipline, students are joining IT sector. They are studying mechanical, they are studying electronics, they are studying instrumentation, they are studying civil, but if you look at where they are going to the IT sector. Now they could be diverted to in their own discipline, and some of the students, they don't go by choice, they go by compulsion. They don't find any kind of avenues, and therefore they don't mind getting into it. So there are many things, but then I would like to restrict myself because I could see the time limit has been given 10 minutes, so I cannot proceed ahead. But only before you taking the presence, your august presence over here,
I thought of projecting this, and I thought of just giving this feedback to you so that, and last feedback, sir. In order to get into the incubation system, the first and the foremost aspect is, creating a kind of awareness about the entrepreneurship as a whole. The moment you create awareness what entrepreneurship is a career option, and what goes into it, that means, in fact, you are trying to prepare yourself, on the part of the students. And this helps the students to get into, if I want to be an entrepreneur through incubation, then, this is the process through which I am supposed to go. And that is quite helpful, instead of just pulling them. Come on, अब चलो इनोवेशन के लिए चलो, इनोवेशन करो, इनोवेशन पर रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट करो. ये रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट करो क्यों करो? क्या ऐसा काम है जिसके लिए हमको रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट में जाना चाहिए? I think for that reason it is important that entrepreneurship awareness is must before we drag them to developing them through incubation system. So see, ideation is good, incubation is very good, but then before ideation and incubation, entrepreneurship awareness or orienting towards the entrepreneurship is must. And finally, enterprise state. So there are 3 steps only. I'm adding one more step, 4th step, and that is the first step, that create entrepreneurial awareness right at the first year level. So that they understand it, that I want to be an entrepreneur by developing my own product, and that product could be developed in incubation. I have only knowledge, I don't have any resources. So all these kinds of things are going to be given by the incubation system. So let's get into it. Then they are attracted to get into the incubation system. With these words, I must say that those managers of incubation and those people who are involved in promoting entrepreneurship, they are doing a great job. अभी मैंने एक आर्टिकल लिखा था सर, जिसमें हमने लिखा था भारतवर्ष में क्या होता है. तो हमने लिखा था कि भारतवर्ष में इसका रिसर्च यदि आप करें तो आदमी सतोगुण से भर जाता है, आदमी प्राणवान बन जाता है, आदमी ओजस्वी बन जाता है, आदमी तेजस्वी बन जाता है, और आदमी वर्चस्वी बन जाता है. सो आप यदि ऐसे बनना चाहते हैं, इस तरह की पर्सनैलिटी आप डेवलप करना चाहते हैं सोसाइटी में, और ये अपनी संस्कृति कहती है कि कोई भी एक एंटरप्रेन्योर यदि ऐसा बने तो वो प्राणवान बनेगा, वो निश्चित रूप से वो प्राणवान बनेगा, वो ओजस्वी बनेगा, तेजस्वी बनेगा, वो वर्चस्वी बनेगा, वो बनना ही है उसको. और ऐसे लोग जिस देश में होते हैं उस देश को कुछ भी करने की आवश्यकता नहीं, वो देश को अपने आप आगे बढ़ता है. I wish all of them to continue to get involved into this endeavor and try to do as much as they possible. Thank you, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. Likely said by you that it is very important to inspire students, and we have also learned in our journey that there is a process of doing so, that is inspiring students, engaging students, and then supporting students. So inspiring and engaging is always a responsibility of our institutions where they are studying, because they come with a blank mind and it's an open canvas for them. We always say they can fill a color of their choice. So this can also be one of the color, entrepreneurship can also be one of the color, and this can be possible with the help and guidance of the able mentors. Thank you so much, sir. And in continuation to that, I want to make one announcement to all the students who are having their ideas ready, that the application for Nidhi EI sponsored is already open at DST Government of India at TBI KAI Ghaziabad. So you can apply for that. It's a fellowship program for entrepreneurship aspirants. We will share the mail ID where you can apply for the same. Thank you so much, sir. Moving ahead, now I'll take an opportunity to invite Mr. Praful Mishra on the dais. He's a founder at OI Media, and he was a key player in 4 startups. So means he is the right person to talk about entrepreneurship startup journey. Sir have worked at World Mark Pro and Seek USA. It's a market research and consulting firm. He has worked in McCann India, the DM and event promotion company. Sir have done his undergraduation from IIT Roorkee and MBA from State University of New York. Sir have a great experience in the field of entrepreneurship. Over to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. That was a tough act to follow, Professor Mishra's presentation. Thank you, sir, for a wonderful handoff. Guru P.K. Mishra, thank you so much for inviting me here. All your fellow gurus, I'm sure, so you would not mind first Guru and then Aaka Abhinandan. Thank you for being here. And my fellow entrepreneurs, the very fact that you're here means you've already taken that first step, at least in your mind, towards the journey of entrepreneurship, right? So, I have been told to share my journey. It's a very long journey. I'd rather share one piece of my journey and give you a sliver of whatever my learning is in that space. Especially in an engineering institute, I know that particular piece of, you may call it Gyan, it's a four-letter word for students at least. So that I would like to just leave behind with you, and I'm using crutches of slides so that the impact is a little higher. And I have two audiences actually. The first audience, my fellow entrepreneur, and then the bossman here. I don't want one lady here, so another lady. So let's call you all bossmen, all right? So there's a little bit of borrowing from a white paper. I confidentially submitted to Professor Mishra. I'll give you a jhalak from there, hopefully. That will help us with our manthan in the evening. So, okay. So, first, my fellow entrepreneurs, to you. Professor Mishra talked about technology, product, वगैरह. Engineers, we get attracted to product, technology, पर इनको भूल जाते हैं. किसके लिए बना रहे हैं? Actually, so I would want you to start focusing on that. I'll tell you why. I was a student, first year, IIT Roorkee, 1982. बहुत दिन हो गए उस समय. Like you said, entrepreneurship कोई आपने शुरू कर रहा थी शुरुआत. हमारे यहाँ पहुँचा भी नहीं था. But मैंने अपने कमरे से, हॉस्टल के रूम से, मैंने सोचा था एक टी-शर्ट का कारोबार शुरू किया जाए. ब्रांडेड टी-शर्ट्स. वो फॉरेन की कॉमिक्स पढ़ते थे. अमेरिकन तो वो यूनिवर्सिटी जैकेट, आपने जैकेट पहन रखी, ऑक्सफोर्ड की. There's a certain pride of wearing a badge. I'm wearing a badge of my high school. The centenary of my high school, right? Many of you will be wearing a lot of badges related to several other brands and stuff, but a core brand, what has built you, has made you, was missing, at least in University of Roorkee that time. It was yet to be IIT. प्रोडक्ट आइडिया तो आ गया, पर कौन खरीदेगा, कितने पे खरीदेगा, कहाँ से लाऊंगा, क्या बनाऊंगा. तो what I did was, and कोई किसी ने ज्ञान नहीं दिया था. I mean, it was probably some intuition. पैसे नहीं थे शायद, इसीलिए मैंने कहा कि पहले चेक तो कर ले कितने लोग खरीदेंगे. एक इश्तिहार लगाया. In the messes, we had about 6 hostels. I took special permission to go into the girls' hostel, which is a big thing for me. And we put the university t-shirts available. Please sign up. And उसमें कपड़ों का क्या होता है, अलग अलग साइजेस होते हैं उनके, right? कोई मोटा पतला, okay, I'm going to hold my breath. मोटा पतला and लंबा, छोटा, all kinds of people were there. How do you plan a product for different sizes? तो जिसको चाहिए 5 रुपए दे, 25 रुपए की टी-शर्ट, 5 रुपए दीजिए, अपना साइज बताइए. And I got a little overboard. कलर भी बता दीजिए. I offered 3-4 colors. Oh my God, it was a nightmare. So size, color, full sleeve, half sleeve, as any, well, उस समय first round में तो वो round neck ही था, I don't know if you remember that. And then I said, design कौन करेगा? आगे कुछ सारे we had 300 orders, 5 रुपए. People paid money just on the goddamn concept, believe it or not. I got lucky, right? I shouldn't be using bad words, right? But बच्चों के साथ, हाँ, स्वच्छंदों के बात करूँगा. Okay. That was providential. However, the matrix was very tough. Any manufacturer you go to, ये क्या complication लिया? वो भी 300 का order. अरे कुछ तो 500 का order दो बोले. So we had to hack it. We hacked it with going to an export surplus guy and said, तेरे पास इस रंग की टी-शर्ट है, हमने कहा नहीं सब white हैं, पर रंग करा दूँगा. तो one problem solved. Second was sizes. उसने कहा छांट के निकाल लूँगा because surplus है. वो जो जनपद दिल्ली में कोई गया वो वहाँ वो 10 का 5 बोली लगाते रहते ना तो they keep doing that. That was like our fashion street at that time. तो उस बंदे को पकड़ के I did that. So bottom line is I had to know my customers. Is it this kind of a guy? You talked about agriculture. I thought I'll talk my hat to you. Agri entrepreneurship. So, or are they like this? See the difference. We think farmers are like this, or they're actually like this. They're mobile enabled and everything else. So you have to, whenever you're looking at a product or something, don't make assumptions. Go engage with them. Get some feedback with them. Right? ये कहावत है पूर्व चलने के बटोही बाट की पहचान कर ले. Right? तो पूर्व चलने के entrepreneur customer की पहचान कर ले. I think that is my biggest learning, and since then, if you see my resume, it's all about customer centricity. क्यों जरूरत है? Why do you want this? KYC is not like a सरकार का KYC नहीं है. This is know your customer. Full form of KYC is nothing to do with the government or the bank or anything else. It is know your customer. Why? Because what you can do is add an irrational layer. That same T-shirt, the guys from Nepal, we had about 30 students per batch from Nepal into 420 students. All of them bought at least one T-shirt. बाकी लोगों में penetration नहीं थी, इन लोगों में क्यों? Because there was an emotional quotient for them of wearing this T-shirt, going back to Kathmandu and walking in the whatever the equivalent of Mall Road or Hazratganj was, proudly University of Roorkee. And they were willing to pay more money for the next lot. So thanks to the Nepali students, version 2.0 मैंने T-shirt का निकाला. Why? They were willing to pay more, and हमें पता चल गया था emotional quotient. So that is, or rather that is, you can, the sharper you define your customer, the less effort you waste in reaching them. And keep in mind, don't always say he. The customer, in all probability, is a she. Yes? Girls, take pride. You are driving a lot of, I would say 80% of the household budgets. This is some research that we did with Godrej about 10 years ago. Washing machines were being targeted to lady buyers or housewife. You would say, hey, that's technology. That's the man's domain. No. The research said the lady of the house is equally now getting responsible because the guy has not seen in his life anything to take decisions on his own. He's seen the patriarch of the house taking decisions, but he's not equipped himself. And now he's living in a nuclear family with his lady love or wife. And उसको decision लेना पड़ रहा है. पापा है नहीं. Who's got the real, who's wearing the pants? The lady. Therefore, you'll see a very improved performance. We saw an improved performance of Godrej washing machines just by that little targeting movement towards the lady of the house instead of traditionally targeting the man of the house. पीछे वाले सुन पा रहे? सो रहे हैं? क्या चल रहा है? ट्विटर पे कुछ चल रहा है? यूक्रेन में धमाका हुआ? Everybody is down with this. I'm just teasing you guys, just to lunch time होने वाला है तो थोड़ा. So digital advantage, everybody has that in their hands. You can locate your customer, you can micro market them very effectively, you can prove it works. You can scale to make a larger impact. All of it is in your hands. I'm preaching to the choir. But one thing is important, and you guys know it better than anybody else. The customer is changing, and they're demanding more choice. I used to run a company called Loyalty Marketing, Net Carrots, and everything else. And loyalty is now a phantom construct. It's no more. It's a dream of a marketer. It is a journey, but you will never achieve it. People like you're not loyal, are you? Anybody who say I'm loyal to a brand? You're not even loyal to your girlfriend or boyfriend. मैं दावा के साथ कह रहा हूँ. Yes or no? Anybody loyal to their girlfriend, boyfriend? Raise your hand. I want to see you. आपका अभिनंदन किया. If you don't qualify, you need hair on your head. And of course, you're holding an alien technology. Okay. So it's about selling your product to finding the customer and serving their needs. If you get this right, that first lesson, 101, Entrepreneurship 101 or 100, whatever course का नाम आप देना चाहें, KYC. All right? अब Osman के तरफ. How much time do we have? I have 3 slides. The incubation process, I'll hand it out to you guys anyways, you'll have that thing. I just wanted to talk about, you talked about outcomes, you talked about measurements, and this is what before we lose you after lunch, I'm just parking it here with you. So we have 3 audiences, the incubatee, the incubator, and the environment at large, the culture that we want to change. We have the antecedents, the process, and the outcomes, right? I thought this would be a good grid to submit to all of you, at least the postman here. The others may enjoy it. Tasveer le lijiye, it will be available. So the second is, you want to talk about goals, right? Number of applications. I want to talk about, there's an IP lawyer here. This will be music to his ears. Go ahead, where are you? Oh, please. On a call. So, intellectual property banking, one of the big strengths of our country, or the weaknesses. We have lots of intellectual capability. We have not banked that. So, submission to the Boston, bank your IP. Participation. How many of our incubatees or how many incubatees have participated in competitions, have won or lost or whatever? Go to market. How much time it has taken them to go to market or break even or take off on the growth. So all those metrics are important. There's a litany of stuff. 1 more minute. This one merits a little bit more discussion. We are in Uttar Pradesh. We're starting, we have lots to achieve. The good news is we're starting from very low expectations at a national level. Yes, we may say that innovation hai hamara or we are ye hai, but it's passe. People are talking about, yes, Noida, but Noida is not Uttar Pradesh, right? Noida is India, perhaps. Kanpur is India. IIT Kanpur is India. Bharat. Uttar Pradesh is Bharat. We talked about it last week itself. Yeah? I think that groundswell, if you want to talk Bharat, you have to look at bottom up. And I'm going to throw some technical names here. Technical University, Geomorphology. जिसको समझ में आ जाए समझ गया, नहीं तो मुझसे पूछ लेना बाद में. I talked about it. But then, what is it? Our demographic dividend, the human capital. That is our national capital. The ecology, the minerals, the Soni ki Chidiya, the Ganga, Jamna, the belt that we have, agriculture, that is our core. And here's one thing that we talk about. And I'll be perhaps politically incorrect. Why is Pakistan not doing so well economically? There's a wonderful thesis by Akar Patel, fellow Guju. He says that all the businessmen remain here All the banyas, the mercantile tradition remained in India. All the others went on just a faith-based bulawa. So what happened? The business sentiment, the business ethic, the core asset that we have of any ecosystem, of economic ecosystem, is with us. Right? And how many, here's a poll, maze ki baat karte hain. How many of you, your last name ends with AL? Surname AL. Good. You guys, it's in your DNA. Right? इधर देखो उधर देखो परिवार में सब कहेंगे धंधा कर. Right? डॉक्टर भी बन गया उसको कहते हैं धंधा कर, नौकरी ना कर. Right? So we have that core capability in us. All we need is, we also have basic skill capital. We have, there's Aligarh where there's precision work happening, Muradabad there's some metallurgy knowledge happening. Banaras we have another kind of skill set happening. Take them from that level of artisanal to industrial to the advanced. Naturally, you don't have to do any disruption from the outside. So that's one model I leave with you. Any questions? I'll be available.
Afternoon session.
I'm available behind the class when empty. Yeah. What is that? Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, sir. You actually focused a very important point. We always say that entrepreneurship is a combination of innovation and business. If you are doing innovation, but if you are not making money out of it, how much time it will sustain? So, I would like to invite... Yeah, okay. So, moving ahead, I take the opportunity to invite our respected guest, Mr. Japan Vyas. He is a founder at Root Ventures, a passionate investor and a mentor with more than 16 years of experience across financial services, domain having specialists, 2 alternative asset management businesses. He was the youngest to have an alternative asset management business at the age of 31 and has raised 3 funds till date on various equity levels. So he's the right person to guide you on fund raising investments. Over to you, sir. Welcome to that.
I'll speak from the dais. I'm not as proficient as Praful and others in public speaking. What I'll quickly do is I'll share a little bit of my journey and I'll share some pointers as to why we are in such a wonderful time in the life of our country when it comes to entrepreneurship. Firstly, thank you. I have the honor of being in the university named after one of the most inspirational Indians that we can ever have. All right. So that's thank you, sir, for calling us over here. I am here because of entrepreneurship. Sir has called me because of entrepreneurship. I started a journey from a very humble background. The first person in the entire extended family to have studied in an English medium school. So parents ki wo ichha thi ke padhai kare. Started working at the age of 14 and did a job after my MBA for the first 15 years. और जब मैं नौकरी छोड़ रहा था in 2014, my parents were shocked. They क्या कर रहा है? Why would you want to do something of your own? You are doing so well. It's a mindset change that is required, that is happening. And again, it's surprising because as a culture, and as I think Praful mentioned, historically we have been a country of risk takers, right? Thousands of years back, our ships used to sail, all the surnames ending with L, AL, they'll be trading. So we were a nation of risk takers, people who were doing business, small scale, large scale. Our share in world economy was massive. Something changed. And that is what I think currently we are seeing being revived by governmental efforts, an entrepreneurship ecosystem that's come about in terms of risk capital. But every time I say this, मुझे रोंगटे खड़े हो जाते हैं. 10-15 साल पहले, could we imagine somebody like me, most of you, dreaming about an entrepreneurial journey? It was not possible. Business was meant for people who come from business families, क्योंकि उन्हीं को पैसा मिलता था, बाकी आपको और मुझे तो पैसे मिलते ही थे. So that's a huge change, right? This is the first time that's happening in this country in a long, long time, or possibly ever in the lifetime of this country. We have to make the best use of that opportunity. We cannot let this opportunity go. So that's up to each of us now to see how do we maximize that. Every time pointing fingers at government, bureaucracy, academia, saying ye nahi mil raha, wo nahi mil raha, that doesn't work, right? A lot of successful entrepreneurs globally have created things from absolutely nothing. They did not go around saying, we don't have access to capital, we don't have access to this, we don't have access to that. If you know your customer, you will get it right. Money will come chasing for you. People like us, investors, will come, looking for you. So please think with what I say, open mind. Don't restrict yourself. And I've noted down some points. I'm just looking at them. So what do I want to, talk about? Second is this whole journey of entrepreneurship is extremely rewarding, right? It's a joy of creating something. If you have a long-term mentality, you end up creating something which hopefully will outlive you. मतलब आप सोचो आपने कोई ऐसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बना ली जो आपके नहीं होने के बाद भी the name will be there, people will recognize you. There's a joy in wealth creation. Again, culturally, we've been taught wealth is bad, it's ingrained here. It's not bad. If you earn wealth the right way, it's great. It helps the economy. You can achieve your goals. You can help your extended family. You can do good to society, right? So that's it's an extremely rewarding journey. It has its ups and downs. On a day-to-day basis, you will face a lot of challenges. Not everybody is there to help you. Like in a job where आपको आपका काम करके चले जाना है. While in a business situation, it's all yours. It's your responsibility. So you need to think through that. Secondly, and we've had this discussion a lot of times, even when in BHU, etc. You are possibly in one of the most densely populated areas of the world. Your market is here. You don't even have to think about India or the world to start with, right? How many places can say that within a few districts of UP and Bihar, you will have a population which is rivaling or bigger than most countries in the world? So look here, start over here, look for what people need over here, and you will find your product ideas. And again, building on what I think Praful mentioned, a lot of interesting things happening in the last few years in India, right? Bharat will become, to my mind, and Bharat I'm using is for a lack of a better word, to my mind will become a very, very interesting market. When a lady gets cooking gas instead of a chula, it's at least 2 hours of her day which gets saved. When a pipe water connection comes, it's another 2 hours saved, right? When money is coming digitally in your account, you have some spending power. And because of internet, you get access and awareness. आप खर्चा करोगे, right? You will require a lot more products and services which will cater to a large population of this country. You need to think in those terms. Secondly, again, opportunities. If you look at geopolitically, every country is becoming inward-looking. Supply chains of the past will get broken. Like our government has announced that defense indigenization is a big thing, right? You will get opportunities here. You will have opportunity possibly for the first time in this country in manufacturing and manufacturing technology. Because global supply chains, part of them will move over here. tremendous stuff will happen around space technology and defense technology. And I'm specifically mentioning these three areas because I believe a lot of you are here from the technology background, and that's what you need to look for areas that you can focus on for your business ideas. Few things as an investor that I come across and I believe that can be improved, and with Alok over here and also a lot of senior people from the academia, most of the opportunities or ideas or pitches that we see on the technology side are all product ideas, right? The moment you ask the first question around numbers, people struggle. That is not what will get you funding, or that may not even what will make it a successful business. You need to think of things in terms of business. You need to understand your basics of your product costing, what is the market pricing acceptable, cash flows, tax, and that's where I think if a lot of this is incorporated in curriculum, not even at the institute levels, but more at school levels, basic personal finance, understanding numbers, I think that will go a long way in helping all of us think business from thinking product. And the last thing that I want to say again is, and again, I think it can be brought up in academics very early on, is storytelling, right? We, again, as a culture, we are a culture of phenomenal storytellers, right? If you look at our history, if you look at our Mahabharata, Ramayana, that history told so wonderfully well that you can still read it, right? We've again lost that art of storytelling. And when you are in business, especially when you are in early stage venture, you are selling your dream, your ideas, etc. If you can't storytell well, how on earth can you expect somebody to believe in you and give you that money, right? We need to cultivate that idea. We need to bring that again, starting at a very early age among students, and get people to tell their stories better. We, including people like me, right? I hate telling my story. I know if I tell my story, people love it, right? But again, it's culturally ingrained कि अपनी बातें नहीं करते हैं. क्यों बड़ा every time, even if there's a newspaper article of mine, my mom will say, हाँ तो चुप बैठ जाना, किसी को बोलना मत, सर पे मत चढ़ जाना, right? So that's, but if I can't sell, right? If I can't sell my story, why will people trust me? Why will people believe in me? Why will somebody give me money? So I think these are two things individually each of you need to cultivate. And if at a governmental level and academics level, if you can bring this in some form at students level, that would be useful. I think that's it from my side. Thank you.
एक मिनट सर को कुछ ऐड करना है
उसमें यही पे मैं आपको
वही से वहाँ से कहीं
सुनाई देगा सर सबको वहाँ से 2 मिनट
अरे यहाँ सबको नहीं सुनाई देगा क्या कहना है
नहीं, मैं आप लोगों से अनुमति लेना चाहूँगा. बहुत अच्छा सेशन चल रहा है. मैं प्रोफेसर साहब आपके लिए हम लोगों ने इंक्यूबेशन मैनेजर और कितने 7-8 लोग तो अपॉइंट हो गए हैं. डॉक्टर साहब, एक चाहूँगा कि आप उनको थोड़ा सा गाइड करें, क्योंकि ये जो अभी आपका जो सेशन था, इससे मतलब जरूर ये कंप्लीट तो नहीं हो सकता है. उनको आप उनके साथ एक सेशन ले लें, चाहे 2 घंटे का, 3 घंटे का, कब भी ऑनलाइन लेना चाहे ऑनलाइन ले लें. उनको देखें कि उनकी पोटेंशियल को उनको मोटिवेट करना बहुत जरूरी है. यहाँ पर कितने इंक्यूबेशन मैनेजर अभी हैं जो हम लोगों ने अपॉइंट किए हैं? एक बार खड़े हो जाइए. आप खड़े हो जाइए. प्रोफेसर साहब पहचान लें आप लोगों को, ठीक है? एक तो हमारे अनाउंस जो कर रहे हैं वो भी हैं, ठीक है? तो प्रोफेसर साहब, इनको जस्ट अभी हम लोगों ने इसमें आए हैं, तो इनको किस तरह से थोड़ा सा आप मोटिवेट करेंगे?
आप 2-3 घंटे की बात कर रहे हैं.
बस आपको मेंटरिंग करनी है. एक ये आपके लिए रिक्वेस्ट था. एक मैं प्रफुल्ल जी से एंड जतन एंड वो चीजें जो अभी मैं कई लोगों को, नवीन झा और कई लोगों को सुन नहीं पाया, जो मैंने पहले ही बात कही थी कि अभी आप लोगों का एक शॉर्ट एंगेजमेंट था, लेकिन आपकी जो सबकी अपनी अपनी स्ट्रेंथ है, लाइक यू आर वेंचर कैपिटलिस्ट. डॉक्टर साहब मतलब कई स्टार्टअप्स लॉन्च किए हैं एंड तो हम उसे एक मंथ में और इसमें अगर 2 मंथ्स में एक आप कर सकें सेशन, मतलब कि ऑनलाइन हम चाहेंगे, कोई ये चीज़ नहीं यू आर सिटिंग इन बैंगलोर और मुंबई और कहीं पर भी, लेकिन मैं वही वीसी साहब को कह रहा था कि हम उसको ये चीज़ करना चाहेंगे अपने यूनिवर्सिटी के साइट पे कि टाइम टू टाइम मंथ में एक प्री डिसाइडेड डेट एंड टाइम हो जिसमें कि आपने ये चीज़ कर दिया, उसमें सारे इंस्टीट्यूट में जो भी हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट हैं उनको हमने पहले से कम्युनिकेट कर दिया और वो पहले से ही रेडी रहेंगे कि आपके उनके क्या क्वेश्चंस हैं, क्योंकि जो आज एक आप ट्रिगर कर रहे हैं उससे हो सकता है कि कई लोगों की कई ऐसी चीज़ें हों जो कि आज वो नहीं पूछ सकेंगे आपसे, लेकिन एक अपॉर्चुनिटी हो। और वीसी साहब ने बोला है कि नहीं आप लोगों को बिल्कुल जरूर जोड़ा जाएगा, तो जो लोग भी हैं जिनको मैं नहीं सुन पाया सब लोगों का एक सेशन हो और आप मेंटोरिंग के लिए आप कुछ इंस्टीट्यूट अगर चूज करना चाहें और AKtU को एज ए होल आप ये करना चाहें, बट दिस शुड बी माय ऑनेस्ट रिक्वेस्ट कि उसको आप जरूर ये चीज़ें करें, दिस शुड बी ए कॉन्टिन्यूअस एंगेजमेंट। और लास्ट वीसी साहब आपको और आपके डायरेक्टर, हम लोग ये जो इलेक्टिव स्टार्ट करना है एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप पर उसमें बिल्कुल मतलब ये चीज़ क्लियर हो, चाहे सोनभद्र ही है चाहे बांदा है, एक इलेक्टिव एक ऑप्शनल इलेक्टिव, जैसे कि हम लोग के भी विषय में था, हम लोगों ने इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़ी थी अपने समय में, 2 कोर्स इकोनॉमिक्स के लेते थे, साइकोलॉजी पे ऑफर होता था IIT कानपुर में, तो वो उसी तरह से अब जरूरी है कि उससे ज़्यादा हम लोग एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के ऊपर एक इलेक्टिव, जैसा कि आपने ये बताया कि फर्स्ट ईयर से ही सेकेंड ईयर से बिल्कुल स्टार्ट होना चाहिए। सो दीज वर द 3 रिक्वेस्ट। थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you so much, sir. So to proceed with, now it's very important to understand what AKtU Innovation Hub is doing. And to take it ahead, I take the opportunity to invite our Professor in charge Innovation Hub at AKtU, Professor Sandeep Tiwari, to present the roadmap of AKtU Innovation Hub. Welcome, sir.
Good morning, good afternoon. Honorable Principal Secretary Shri Amrit Abhijat ji, Principal Secretary Shri Alok Kumar ji, Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor P.K. Mishra sir, Professor S.P. Mishra sir, Founder VC Dev Sanskriti, Shri Praful Mishra ji, Mr. Mohit Gambhir ji, Director Ministry of Education Mr. Japan Vyas ji, Professor Prakash Singh ji, Chairman Doctoral Program IIM Lucknow, Shri Naveen Jha ji, Abhishek Tiwari ji from UPLC, Ajay Suman Shukla ji, Gaurav Kedia ji, and Mr. Vaibhav Saxena, Registrar, Finance Officer, Incubation Hub Head, Managers, my colleagues, and my dear students. Welcome to all. First, I would like to put big round of applause for all of you. Actually, just you have listened everyone, the basic idea which has been introduced 1 year back, I have been asked to open incubation center in all government engineering colleges. Now we are going to stretch our potential. In every zone, we have planned to open minimum 5 to 10 incubation centers within a year. So in all 15 government engineering colleges, incubation center will be recognized by UPLC within 1 month, in which we will receive 30 lakh rupees per year for 5 years. So out of these 30 lakh rupees, 10 ideas can be sponsored by that individual incubation center. So it's a big opportunity for all of you to explore your innovative idea. Actually, if you will listen this word innovative idea, sometimes we are confused. Innovation means I have to develop something new. Shri Praful Mishra ji, he has shared his experience during student life. He has offered to manufacture t-shirt which belong to University of Roorkee. So idea means what you are going to offer, how you can know about customer. KYC is very important to identify business opportunity. Innovation does not mean that whatever existing you cannot relaunch in the market. If you are reducing its rate by 25% by modifying raw material, or it may be modified by its different kind of processes which will be involved to produce it. Just you have to focus to identify the problems. When you will identify, certainly you can implement your idea in the market. So how we will work? So the main idea of this program is, I think I am audible to all of you? Yes. Thank you. That is the spirit of any faculty. So I am hardcore academician. By default I am administrator. So we have established Innovation Hub at AKtU. It's a big umbrella which will provide all kind of support to all incubation centers which are existing in UP. So what kind of facility we will provide? We will try to provide fund to mature your idea. Always we are struggling, we have idea, but the money which is involved to develop that product for proof of concept, that is missing. So that kind of support we will provide. With this roadmap. And parallelly we are going to connect with the previous incubation centers, like KITE is doing wonderful in the zone of NCR. AKG is also doing good, ABS is also working, Krishna Engineering College, Mohan Nagar, they are also doing, NIT, GL Bajaj, these are the institutes which are situated in NCR. We are going to connect with these institutes also. The facilities which are available in these institutes are also available for any incubating. So we are not in isolation. We are going to spread our wings to support our students in the best manner. Idea may be entered from any person of the society. It does not mean we are committed to support our student only. If any farmer is carrying any innovative idea, most welcome. Any student from high school or intermediate, if he is carrying innovative idea, certainly we will feel happy to support them. So we are going to identify different sectors. Agrotech, suppose REC Ambedkar Nagar has been recognized by UPLC. We have already freezed our idea. We will work for this agrotech. All the ideas which are related to agrotech, they may be registered for REC Ambedkar Nagar. Like this, we are going to divide different incubation centers. Then, startup ecosystem, long-term roadmap has been mentioned in this slide. Tapping new incubatees, all these orientation, collaboration, and how you can receive funds from government agencies. All these kind of support will also be provided for our incubatees. Channelizing startup ecosystem, you need co-working space and the facility which is required, Fab Lab, 3D printer, all kind of facility which is required, that will be available in those incubation centers. So that you can also avail these facilities with very nominal charges. And this is the hierarchy. The program which has been designed, ARAM, that is related with the idea. We are going to mature our idea by tomorrow morning. All these persons who are sitting in this front row, they all are here to guide us. And what kind of support they will provide. Everyone is doing wonderful contribution in the society, but when they will act as a mentor for this incubation hub, certainly we can do something big. So, under their leadership, I am committed to implement their idea in the best manner. Within 2 months, we will make it operational and our efforts will be reflected on ground. These are the different 15 colleges in which we are going to open incubation center. ITS Greater Noida is doing wonderful job, and I have requested UPLC Abhishek Tiwari ji that we can register ITS also for to recognize this incubation center also. So this AICT Idea Lab have been applied and our presentation has been already over, and I am very positive that we will receive this Idea Lab from AICT. And then fabrication lab work is also going on, so that you can also avail the facility which are available in AKtU campus as well as this fabrication lab. Then blockchain center of excellence will be developed in IIT Lucknow. So if your idea is related to blockchain, so you can also approach to IIT Incubation Center. Then Center of Excellence on Drone Technology. Nowadays application of drone is increasing day by day to deliver medicine, to deliver pizza, for security purpose, for surveillance. We are exploring drone. Center of Excellence related to drone will also be developed at AKtU campus. Then plan of action, how we will implement our plan, that has been reflected on these slides. I will share these slides to all of you so that this plan may be implemented at your place. REC incubators quarter roadmap, how we will proceed. Sir has already said that awareness is very important. Always we are struggling. They are not aware this is the best option for the student to develop themselves as an entrepreneur. So if that kind of awareness will be introduced when they are going to enter in first year, certainly they can explore in this field also as a career. So this idea we will introduce, but this roadmap again we will discuss by today with all our board of advisors. Then only we will circulate among our incubation centers. Then MOU with ODOP that also exists. We are going to explore what kind of additional activities we can start, and the idea which has been shared by our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, we are going to adopt one village in every district where government will provide 25 lakh rupees. वहाँ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हमें प्रोवाइड किया जाएगा, वहाँ 25 लाख रुपीस स्पेंड करके वहाँ हम कुछ प्रोडक्ट डेवलप करेंगे, वो प्रोडक्शन जो है मार्केट में इंट्रोड्यूस करेंगे ताकि वो सेल्फ सर्वाइवल मोड पे जा सके. So we are going to penetrate this culture in 75 villages, and one person dedicatedly will be appointed for that center for 5 years. So we are planning this idea to implement on ground, so that this culture may be introduced in all villages. Dr. Kalam Innovation Gallery, these are the practices which has been introduced at AKtU. Kalam Annual Project and Poster Presentation that also exists. Kalam Startup Parikrama, most of the institutes they are participating in these competitions and they are getting different grades. Kalam Entrepreneurship League, I would like to tell you the success story of REC Ambedkar Nagar. I got opportunity to visit SIIC IIT Kanpur along with Honorable Secretary Sir Alok Kumar ji, and there I have interacted with the founders of different companies. With the close interaction with all founders, I came to know that if we will appoint these founders as a mentor for different REC, certainly we can do something big. So I have requested a few founders, out of which 4 or 5 founders, they have accepted my invitation and they have visited REC Ambedkar Nagar. Within a month, the success story which they have written at REC Ambedkar Nagar is really amazing. Our students, they were struggling to get idea. They have shared their own idea with my students and they have created different group. Out of those groups, 16 idea has been matured, which has been shown in front Honorable Minister Jitin Prasad ji and Honorable Alok Kumar ji when they have visited at REC Ambedkar Nagar. And they have spent 30 minutes with every idea so that they can judge whether that is really feasible or it's not feasible to introduce in the market. And few of the startups, they are also here. Yes, please stand up. REC Ambedkar Nagar startup teams. Charkha and Smart Irrigation, 2 teams are here. They are here. They are working on their project, and I am very positive. Within a month, I have committed with Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir that we are going to launch 6 to 8 products within a month. We are going to conduct startup meet at AKtU campus, in which I will request to Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir and other authorities to launch their product in the market. So that is the exercise which has been done only for 3-4 months, and all credit goes to my mentors. The mentors who have visited at REC Ambedkar Nagar, they have given their idea, and every week they are guiding their team members. So if you are crazy to do something on ground, everyone is available. Even they will not hide their idea. Unka idea, they will start their own company in coming days. But they are ready to share their idea with you. They are willing to do something good. I would like to intentionally mention one name which is really necessary to share at this moment. Akshay Srivastava. He is managing one company, LCV Fertilizer. Today he is not available. Next time I will certainly feel happy to ask him to interact with all of you. He is continuously providing mentorship, and he is committed to bring fund for their team members. All the team which has been selected with 16 idea has been mentioned here. Laldi Women Safety and Empowerment Solution. This is special kind of women safety device which has been developed. वो एक ऐप है, 3 बार अगर लेडी उसे हल्का सा हिला देगी मोबाइल को, ऑटोमेटिकली मैसेज चला जाएगा, शी इज इन डेंजर। इसके अनलिमिटेड फीचर हैं, ये भी उस दिन लॉन्च होगा। चरखा हमारा रेडी है, ये भी उस दिन लॉन्च होगा। इसके अलावा मार्ग साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, ये प्रॉब्लम मैंने अपने हमारे मेंटर है रोहित, मिस्टर रोहित रोसाटेक के मालिक हैं, उनसे मैंने कहा था व्हेनेवर वी आर विजिटिंग टू वीआईपीज, तो हमारे मोबाइल ये सब वहां सबमिट कर लिए जाते हैं, एक लॉकर में हमें की दे दी जाती है। तो सपोज इफ आई एम कैरिंग एनी एक्सप्लोसिव आइटम, वो कैसे क्या होगा अगर मैं लेके अंदर चला गया। तो उसमें ये हुआ कि अगर कोई भी व्यक्ति जा रहा है तो कीनिंग में ही हमारी एक स्मार्ट डिवाइस होगी, उसको लेके मैं चल रहा हूं, वो सेंसर्स के थ्रू रीड कर लेगी कि मेरा कोई भी ऐसा एक्ट हो रहा है जिससे कि सिग्नल आ जाए कि इस पर्सन ही कैन डू समथिंग बिग, इसको ट्रेस करके इसको ट्रैक किया। तो ऐसे से फीचर है। इसके बाद बाकी सारे प्रोजेक्ट, स्मार्ट बजूका आपने देखा होगा खेतों में आजकल जानवरों का बड़ा है, नीलगाय आती है वो खराब कर देती है हमारी फसल, उसके लिए ऊर्जा ग्राम स्मार्ट ग्रिड एनर्जी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है, सोलर प्रेस वाला। एक बार ऐसे ही आइडिया है, हमारे उत्पन्न दुबे जी हैं, वो भी मेंटर है वहां के, ऊर्जा ग्राम लिमिटेड, ऊर्जा ग्राम प्राइवेट लिमिटेड उनकी कंपनी है, ये भी स्टार्टअप है, उसके फाउंडर डायरेक्टर है। उन्होंने कहा प्रेस वाला है, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहीं है, व्हाट ही विल डू। तो उन्होंने एक आइडिया दिया कि ऊपर अगर एक सोलर पैनल लगा के उसे अटैच कर दें प्रेस से, तो कितना अच्छा एक फिजिबल सॉल्यूशन है। ऐसे छोटे छोटे आइडिया बिल्कुल रेडी है। इसके अलावा त्योहार पे हमारे घर में अगर कोई पूजा होती है, पूजा का सामान ढूंढने के लिए 5 तरीके के फल, हवन सामग्री में भी अलग अलग तरीके की चीजें, हम लोग कितनी दुकानों में जाते हैं, आजकल कुछ दुकानें ऐसी हो गई हैं जहां में सब कुछ मिल जाता है। वो भी एक ऐसे ऐप के थ्रू है, आपने बता दिया सत्यनारायण भगवान की कथा होनी है, पूरा वो पैकेज होकर आपके घर आ जाएगा, कोई कहीं जाने की जरूरत नहीं, कोई परेशानी नहीं। इसके अलावा फ्रेशली 19 है, आप किसानों की बात करते हैं, एग्रीटेक की तरीके से हम लोग डेवलप करने की सोच रहे हैं REC अम्बेडकर नगर को। तो फ्रेशली 19 एक ऐसा स्टार्टअप है, पीनट अगर बेच रहा है किसान तो वो 40-50 रुपीज केजी में बेच देता है। पीनट बटर डेवलप कर लेगा तो 200-250 रुपए केजी में। वीट, जो नॉर्मल वीट है वो उपजा रहा है तो 15 से 16 रुपए केजी बिकता है। अक्षय का ही आइडिया, अगर ब्लैक वीट उपजाया जाए तो हम 50 रुपीज में जितना ब्लैक वीट होगा सब खरीद लेंगे। और उसके लिए बीज भी हम देंगे और उसमें जो फर्टिलाइजर चाहिए वो भी हम देंगे। तो बताइए ऐसे ऐसे लोग हैं जो समाज के लिए काम करना चाहते हैं। उस वीट को अगर आपने पीस के दे दिया तो 5 रुपीज पर केजी के हिसाब से उसकी पिसाई की, बिकॉज जब हम मशीन से पीसते हैं तो वो ड्यू टू हीट वो उसकी जो प्रॉपर्टीज है वो मॉडिफाई हो जाती है, इसलिए अगर हाथ वाली उससे पीसा जाए तो उससे बेटर रहता है। तो ऐसे ऐसे तरीके के आइडिया आप देखिए, रोबोटिक्स, ये सारे मतलब आइडिया लॉन्च होने वाली स्टेज पे, दैट्स व्हाई आई हैव इंटेंशनली मेंशन्ड ऑन माय स्लाइड्स। थैंक यू। I am sure under the leadership of our Honorable Vice Chancellor sir and all the board of advisors who are sitting here, with your kind support and guidance, we will do miracle in coming days. Thank you. Thank you all. Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you so much, sir, for making everyone aware about the objective and support Innovation Hub can provide to the associated institutes in Uttar Pradesh. Now moving ahead with a panel discussion, we have a lineup of panel discussion. It is going to be one of the very interactive sessions, and the topic of the same is the aspects and strategy for developing a healthier startup ecosystem in Uttar Pradesh. Moving ahead with that, let us have a break of 5 minutes, a bio break of 5 minutes. And I request all our delegates to be there in the green room for the interactive thing, and the audience can move ahead, and we'll be back within 5 minutes. I'll give you time. That's at 1 o'clock sharp, we'll start with the panel discussion.
ठीक है, तैयारी करिए। कहीं जाने की जरूरत नहीं, जिसको जरूरत हो जाए और कहीं जाने की जरूरत नहीं। सब लोग चले जाएंगे तो लौटना कठिन हो जाएगा।
Yes, my dear students, if there is any necessity, then only go outside. Otherwise, within 5 minutes, we are going to start. Panel discussion is about to start.
लोगों को खाना वाना बता, सबको बता दो लंच है सबके लिए।
हाँ, yes, my dear students, आपके लिए